Good evening, Mr. Michael.
Oh, good evening, Bolaji.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Please, we're waiting for more people to join, so I'm just going to just give me a bit of time and then we'll start.
Of course. All right.
We always have this challenge when we're having programs. Even when you send it, people don't show up at that time. You might have even started a while before people start joining.
Yeah, well, it even seems I saw something like 6:30 while logging in.
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure. It was just
I don't think
a
so.
glimpse of it, a glimpse of it while logging in. So I don't know. Maybe I should exit and try to do that again.
Okay, I would appreciate seeing that.
Okay.
Thank you. That would be a problem if the thing is saying 6:30. I don't think so. Is he saying that? He will let me know.
Okay, it was actually 6 o'clock.
Okay. I'm just going to try to send the link out again so that people will join. Welcome, Mr. Eric. We are just giving the latecomers a bit of time to join and then we'll start.
All right, no problem, ma. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining the
Yeah,
session.
yeah, thank you.
Hello, Isioma. You're welcome.
Hello, ma. Thank you, ma.
Or you are if you're an HR professional here, or you're a job, you are looking at changing your job, you are trying to look for a better job, or you are an employer, this is one of the things that would help you a lot to consider. Um, Good evening again, everyone. My name is Bolaji Shote. I'm the lead HR consultant, the founder and lead HR consultant at Ingenuity HR Solutions, an HR consultancy firm. I call us your buffet HR consultancy firm because we do the end to end HR, from recruitment and selection. We do headhunting, we do training and development, we do compensation and benefits, we do um, employee engagement, performance management, the whole broad spectrum of HR. And that's not far fetched. These are all the things I've done in over 20 years of being an HR professional across industries, across organizations, across um even individuals that we've come across with. We've helped them in their career. We do CV writing. We have an HR academy. um we also do mock interview session. We prepare people for interview. We coach people. We do career counseling and coaching. I received a message this morning, a voice note, and I had a session with someone who works in the public sector. And she then sent me a message this morning that was so delightsome. She said, "Thank you so much for that session, because since I had that session with you, I was clearer about what I needed to do about myself, about my life, and about my career. And I've done ABC. I'm happy to tell you that I've taken one, two, three steps." She took 2 sessions. She paid for 2 sessions, but she did one and said she was going to do the other one. She said, "I can't wait to have the second session with you." So this is what we do at Ingenuity HR Solutions. And personally, as an individual, I am passionate about people. I am passionate about seeing organizations succeed. Um, Also, during the course of this week, I spoke with an organization that we are at the end of the project that we did for them, to help them create a compensation and benefit structure for their employee. So let's talk about what makes employees stay. So I did a poll on LinkedIn, asking people why, what will attract them to a job, and the answer did not really give as before. The answer didn't really give what it would have given. I did that same poll, I think that was last year, and it was different. What does that tell you? Even the way the world is changing, the individuals too are also changing. Things are changing. Nobody can say anything is cast in stone. So if you want to build an employee value proposition, that's what they call EVP, what you use in attracting them, right? um Not only attracting them, but also retaining them. It's you Your compensation strategy is a key part of that, because it talks about what is unique to you as an organization. What are you giving them? Let me tell you this: in this day and age, the Gen Zs, is a case of, they will tell you what is in it for me. WIFM. They want to know at every point in time what is in it for them. um I have a Gen Z whom I was speaking with, who, excuse me, was ready to leave a job that was paying her a lot more, just because the job requires her to come every day. She said, I had to leave the job because I don't want to go to work every day. She said, so when I got a job that gave me opportunity to do hybrid, I dumped that job, even though it was more money. Excuse me. I dropped it and I took it for the one that was giving me that. Employee value proposition is very, very important and is all encompassing. In those days of our parents' day and age, in the past, let's say 25 years, 20 years, it was all about the money. Excuse me. These days is no longer about money alone. Even you, so whether you're an employer, an employee, a business owner, or an HR person, you have to look at things holistically. That what is your employee value proposition as it relates with your compensation and benefits. It is very important, and is one aspect a lot of people um you know overlook. There was this joke that has been coming to my mind, is whether it's a joke or not a joke. Like it's on social media, about an employee that they just gave um employee of the month, and the employee of the month was coming to resign the next day. So you'll be asking yourself, how? Employee of the month that is about to resign. In today's competitive talent, organizations that actually attract and retain top talent understand beyond a paycheck. You know, it's more than a paycheck these days. People want, especially the fact that the majority of people now in the workplace are mostly the millennials and the Gen Zs. In fact, research says that the Gen Zs will make up 70% of the workplace in a few years. They will be the one that will dominate the workspace. I'll bet they will still be working with all the other generation. He says we'll have a lot more generation. But I talk to Gen Zs a lot. I interact with them. I had a training for a bank a few weeks ago, and I gave a Gen Z a ride. And I was talking with her and everything, and she was sharing some things with me, and she said, oh, you know what? Our generation, we're not looking out for just money alone. Don't be promising us things that you cannot do, or don't be promising us things that we cannot access now. So everybody will have to start looking at what they're giving in terms of organization to um individuals, as an HR professional too as well. It lies with you to know how to advise people, how to advise your organization rather, on what to take. So let me give you a typical instance. Even we are a recruitment organization. So a company comes to us and says, help us recruit for this ABC role. And this person said, oh, um I'm going to pay XYZ amount, right? And in that XYZ amount that I want to pay, the person is going to have to um get clients, like take transportation from me, do this for me, and do all of that for me. And guess what? Immediately I shut it down. I said, I'm sorry, we won't be the right um organization to do this recruitment for you, because guess what? We will not find. And even if we find, at the end of the day, it's not going to be to our best interest, because the person is going to look at us at the end of the day, that are we so interested in what is it called, the recruitment fees that we want to collect? How much do we even collect for these recruitment fees, that I will now say is because of that I will not encourage organizations to do the needful? I'm helping them in the process, because guess what? If you do that, whatever, even we ourselves will be back to square one again. I have a current organization. That's another kettle of fish entirely. A current organization that we've recruited for them for the same role in the last 2 years for about 4 different people. So they are saying, go and recruit for us again. And I'm saying, no. Before we even start to recruit for you, let's understand what the challenge is. There has to be something. And sometimes it's not just about, we know, toxic organization, all of those things. Sometimes it's about compensation. And compensation and benefit is not just about money. I think that's what we first of all need to establish. It's not about money. What makes a fair and competitive compensation strategy? What makes it so? What's the link between compensation, benefit, and employee retention? What How can you build an effective employee value proposition beyond salary? Benefits employees truly value. What are the benefits they value? And practical insights that we'll be discussing today. So let me say this: when it comes to your employee, it's when you call something employee value proposition, or some people call it, if you have heard the word USP, unique selling point. As an organization, you must have it, because that is the only thing that will guarantee that your employees will stay with you, and they will not even stay, they will be attracted. They will not only be attracted, but they want to remain in your organization. That remaining your organization is also tentative too as well. Always feel free to make a decision to sever a, a an employment relationship if you think that it's not working for either you or the person, or the staff, as it were. Why would some people have worked in? I have a friend who, in all her career, she has worked and remained in a particular organization. My son did his internship with an organization that, after the internship, I had to sit down to ask myself, now I know why this organization, most people who work in that organization, they work there all their life. Once they enter that place, most likely they will finish their career from there. There's a reason. Even during the internship, it's not as if they paid him heaven on earth. They even paid him less than what he was earning in the first place. But the benefit that you get, you can never get it. It's very rare for you to get it. They will feed you, they will transport you. You are sick, you have access to the best medical, you have access to gym, you have access to so many things, you know, at work. But sometimes, I mean, I was like, is this what they are paying? That's on a lighter note. So you can see that is not so. Let's do the math. Organization A pays you 200,000. Excuse me. Out of that 200,000, you have used 100,000 to enter transports. But organization B pays you 100,000 to work from home. Which one would you take? Can we put it in the chat box? An organization that pays, I'll do the an organization that pays 200,000, but you but your transport is 100,000. So you can use a what they call emoji to pick which one. Click like the one that you prefer, or an organization that pays you 100 but you work fully remote. Can we click on this? We can use the thumb, raising your thumb to like the one we want. Yes, that way it'll be easy for me to see. Which one would you prefer? Keep it coming. You know, I didn't even see anybody who picked the first option. Wow. Nobody picked option A. Thank you everyone for participating. So you see, at the end of the day, it's beyond just money. It's all encompassing. Let me put it that way. If people will, and that's what a lot of people are doing, especially a lot of young people, the owners of mental health, Gen Z, they would rather not want anything to stress them before you can tell them that they would rather go and do something else than something that, you know, would, by the time they do the calculation, they do the math is not mathing. I had a client, we had a client at Ingenuity. She called me, say, Bolaji, I want to increase the salary of my staff. And we've been consulting for them. Excuse me. I know that the staff do not, that's not what they wanted. I knew that was not it. So I told her, I said, Ma, instead of increasing their salary, like you said you want to, can you ask them what they want? Sit with them and ask them what they want. Is it really salary increase that they want? Guess what? When she went to them, they said they want remote work, because hybrid rather, that at the end of the day, even all the money she gives them, they will still use it for transportation. So for them, it doesn't have any impact. Consider the way fuel has been doing itself this in recent time. You go today, it's one price, tomorrow is another price. You don't even know the price that you are going to go and meet. I'm telling you. And that means that the cost of transportation, with what is going on post-COVID, transportation has been a very huge cost in the, overall compensation that you give people. What are the key components of this employee value proposition that we're talking about? We have compensation itself, which is competitive salary, bonuses, incentives, and benefits. Again, it's not just benefit in terms of, you give them transport, you give them health, you give them, there are other things. How about career growth, where people can learn, where they can gain opportunities, I told my son at the time I wanted him to change from one place to another. I said, you will not understand it now, but in future you will come and thank me. Because to him, it felt like a demotion. But it was the opportunities, learning opportunities that were open to, I will put it even for that particular organization. It's not just opportunities alone. Working for some organizations are game changers, which has happened to me in the course of my own career. Excuse me. I've had to take pay cuts 2 to 3 times in my career just to get to the next level of career advancement that I needed. Do you know what it means to take a pay cut? That means I was earning more here and I went back. Yeah, I like demotion, like I cannot even express it, the kind of demotion it is, the way other people will look at it. Where I was head HR, I was doing everything, and then I got a role as HRBP in a big structured organization. I didn't bat an eyelid. And today, I don't regret it. I'm still enjoying the benefit of working in that kind of environment. So if you are here and you are young, a lot of young people, what they just look at, how much are they paying me? Some organizations will expose you to things that maybe you initially might look like you lost, but you will eventually gain and go far. So you'll be way ahead of other people because of the kind of exposure that you have. So before you make that career change, before you accept that salary, look at it from that perspective. And if you are a business owner, if you're an HR person, don't just let your compensation focus on money alone. How much are we paying? Everywhere that I've worked, I ensured that we gave people things that were a lot more than just them collecting salary. No, we'll keep an environment where people have to be learning. My last full HR work in Nigeria before I went out of the country to work, that organization never had HR. And everything was just done anyhow in that company at the time. I got there and I changed the story. I created a culture of learning where you are rewarded for learning, where people are enthusiastic to learn, where people are. During COVID, we never felt COVID because we were always learning. Do you know what it means? You know, it's when I look back, it doesn't hurt because I'm proud of the work that I did. Whether anybody rewarded me or I didn't get rewarded. During COVID, for our staff, every day they were learning every day. I made use of, so it was overarching. It wasn't just we were in COVID, but people didn't really feel that we were in COVID. We allowed people to use their minds. So we were calling heads of department, team leads, people that are ordinarily a driver in his life who has never had any opportunity to speak with an individual, to say, okay, Mr. Usman, next week on Monday, you will teach us about safety, car safety. Mr. Something something, you will teach us on this. You take a topic. Like people were being, learning was imbibed into people, so that we didn't even know when lockdown left. That lockdown was a lot, maybe for like 3 months. The whole thing passed quickly and people learned a lot. Every day we were learning. I'm sure some people here will be like, how can you do that? Imagine if they were not learning. What would we have done at that time where people, and the work had to continue. So we had to move the work online. And for people like drivers, cleaners, that their work was physical, what did you want them to be doing at that time? There was no work for them. And I know that in my own culture, they say an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Excuse me. So I kept their minds busy so that every day at so time we all meet. In the evening, we all meet again to talk about what we did. They are not doing any work pretty much, but that learning period, if I look back, if they I always tell myself my reward can never elude me, because I have given so much of myself to people. For 3 months, every day, Monday to Friday, I was sowing into, let me put it that way, into these people's mind. I was calling heads of department, come and teach us on customer service, come and teach us on this, come and teach us on that, come and teach us on. These people learned so much within that 3 months. Please, we cannot overemphasize career growth, learning opportunities. Everything is not money. Don't be the typical Nigerian. Look for other things. And I've spread this, whether you're an employer or you're an employee, or business owner or an HR person. Look for other things that you can give your people that is more than money. Guess what? That thing might be what will hold them in your organization eventually, maybe not money. And the day you don't have money to give them, if they look at the learning opportunity and how they've grown, it will make an impact in their life. The lady that I told you I spoke with this morning, who works in the public sector, one of the things she told me, she said, I'm no longer in a hurry to want to leave because they're giving me a project that I'm working upon. While I still have that on my plate, now I'm busy. When people are not busy, when they are not learning, when you are not stretching them, when they are not growing, they will leave your job that you are paying them a lot and go for somebody that is giving them that learning, but that is giving them less. So please, let's take note of that. And then the work environment, positive culture, teamwork, diversity, employee well-being. Do you pay attention to it? Every time that I had the opportunity to lead in an organization, there must be something we're doing in terms of health, well-being. I worked in an organization. It was one of those um, sessions that I organized because I was in charge of employee engagement. So we all organized an HR day and we called um, people to come and give us tests and all of those things. That's how I first heard about cervical for International Women's Day. That's the first time I heard about cervical cancer, and I became like an advocate, because I before that time I didn't even know anything about cervical cancer and how deadly it was for women. That's how I also got to discover that I had astigmatism. I didn't know. And there are other people like that. When you create such programs where there's positive well-being, you talk about people working as a team, people everybody should be respected as a human being first, not who they are or where they come from, irrespective of their gender, their age, their background. Respect everyone, create an atmosphere, and that's why your onboarding is one of the ways that you can do this. Make sure you have a strong onboarding. I joined organization, no onboarding, nothing. I said, this is not possible. Nobody onboarded me. Every place that I've worked in, that I didn't have anybody to onboard me. I said the other people coming ahead of me will not face this. I started onboarding program one day. That's what I do. Then I'll now expand it again. 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. as the organization kept growing, we kept reinventing it. So make sure you reinvent your onboarding, um, have a positive work culture, and you must know what your work culture is. There must be things that some documented, some acceptable behaviors that you want to see in your organization. And you, as an employer, you, as an HR professional, you must demonstrate it. You, as an individual, you must demonstrate it. Don't allow people to speak words or do things that make other people feel they don't feel a sense of belonging when they join the organization. There was an organization that they said training is based on how long you've been in the organization. When I got there, I changed it. I said training cannot be how long you've been in the organization. Training should be based on training needs that people have. Intervention, learning intervention. Or are we just generally just, there are some standard trainings that we have in the organization helping people understand cybersecurity. You don't have to have spent long in the organization. Maybe that's why you even need it. It's even something fundamental, because we've tried it before that we sent an email, a spam email. I mean, yeah, like all those um malware emails, corrupted. We sent it, and before we knew it, people responded to it because they felt it was from HR, but it was a test. So you have to build a culture of learning, a culture where teamwork is valued. Sometimes we reiterate those things through the things that we do, the values that matters to us in our organization. Is it innovation? Is it accountability? Is it creativity? Then we deepen them. We look for ways of making people accountable, give them work to do, keep them in charge of something. I did not now say that because I said keep them in charge of something, you go and keep them in charge of something that they will now destroy your company's reputation or damage or put you again at a risk. Next month, like I said, a risk manager is coming to speak with us about risk that we face in HR and how we can protect ourselves. Work-life balance. I call it life-work balance. Flexible work arrangement. It's not every time that, everything in this year and age. Excuse me. These Gen Zs especially, if you owe them too much, they will leave your job for you. And at the end of the day, you will not have somebody to do the work for you. The Gen Zs too. Because at the end of the day too, if you keep jumping from organization to organization, nobody will want to work with you. Excuse me, you build a bad record, a bad reputation. Sometimes the younger generation feel that work is stretching them, so they don't want to do it. But they don't know that that work that has stretched them is what has given them the learning that they've learned. I had one young, um, she's still a Gen Z, who reported to me about 6 years ago during COVID. She joined the organization I was in that time. If I give her work like this, yeah, she's afraid though. She cannot talk to people. She cannot communicate with people. Ma, why are you telling me to do presentation? You don't like me. I saw the potential in you, but I saw the fact that you were not, and I see your potential. Today, she's no longer in the country. She calls me she calls me my HR mother. She said, Ma, all the things that you taught me, that's what I'm using today. Create an atmosphere where people can learn, where you pay them, you have leave days, they can go on leave, wellness programs that you create, for them, and then recognize people for performance, great performance. I also believe in performance management, not appraisal. Don't wait till appraisal period. When somebody does something great, tell them you've done well. Thank you, well done. That's one of a lifestyle, and I think I got it from my dad. Tell them they've done well. Appreciate people. If they do work, they don't even do it well. First of all, say thank you for doing this work. Oh, then now tell them the part that they did not do well. But this is not what you were asked to do. That way, it it motivates them to want to do something rather than immediately they bring it. You just connect. Hey, what's this? What did you do? What rubbish? Hey, you know. So try and appreciate the work that people do. Encourage them to do more. Stretch them. Ensure that they can be a better version of themselves. And then finally, provide meaningful work. You know, people will work for many years, make money, do everything, and they will be asking themselves, what did I do with my life? Excuse me. They'll be asking themselves, what did I do with my life over the years? You know, it is important that at the end of whatever you have for people to do, there must be purpose. People, money is no longer, they call it hygiene factor. I worked in an organization. That was when fear caught me, and I realized that money is not is a temporary motivation for people. But unfortunately, most people focus just on that part of compensation and benefit strategy. And it's not. That particular year in that organization, um, the company increased compensation, total compensation to I think 30 to 40%. But guess what? That was the year that they experienced the highest. That was the year they experienced the highest attrition rate that they recorded since the inception. You increase people's salary, but they are leaving. What does that tell you? That tells you a lot, that compensation and benefit is not just about money or things that people earn or things that you do. It goes beyond that. Sometimes it's even psychological. It's something you cannot see. A lady in one tech company told me that my former company tried to steal all her staff. Guess what? All those staff went to tell their HR that this company is trying to steal also. She had to come and tell me that, what's wrong with that your former company? Why are they trying to steal my staff? Ah, I said, as she said, they are coming to the same. They'll go and meet this one. Those ones say, we are not leaving. We are not leaving. We like this place. And they will even tell their HR, see, this company is really pestering us to leave here and coming to them. Why would they go and tell their HR that kind of thing? It's because there must be, they must have created room for psychological safety. You know what they call psychological safety? People are not afraid. Even if they say things that are not right, you can then correct them. And the way you correct them in love, they will know that you don't have anything against them. All the places that practice HR, my ears have been full. I've had things in my life that even me, I should be going for therapy as HR. But guess what? All those things, they were there on the job. I never used it against any of those people, and I will never. Nobody will hear of that conversation I had with that person in the course of the job that they opened up to me as HR or as their manager. I've had somebody who told me that they struggled with theft. What has that? If it's another HR, maybe they will go and tell the management, be watching, no, maybe they will steal your money. It was like childhood trauma. And I said, I hope you've gone for to seek. Yeah, she said she was intentionally doing that stuff at the time. People will tell you things, but the only way they will feel free enough to tell you will be because of the safety they have from you. If they don't have that safety, they will not be able to open up to you. So please, compensation and benefit is not just, excuse me, the welfare, stock option, share options, all of those things. There are all the other things that I mentioned. And those are the things money can really buy. And these days, people are moving towards that area. Let me also say this as I wrap up. I read something that on I read about it, that most people now, they are focusing more on experience than on buying material things. And that thing is true. So people are the value of, so if you are looking at compensation and benefit in terms of money and maybe the health plan or the benefit that you give them, HMO, people are losing, they are not interested in all of those things anymore as much as they are interested in having pleasant experiences on the job from time to time. Maybe you just have a moment at work where you, 1 second please. Sorry. So moments, like light bulb moments, mom- activities that you will have, that when they leave, they get this, they have great feelings. That's what a lot of people are more interested in these days. Things that will give them great feelings, moments on the job where they feel proud of the work that they've done, or a project that they successfully worked on, or they conceived from the beginning to the end, something that they did. Last year we started a Gen Z mentorship program, and one of the people on our team, I think that was a very humbling moment for her. Without telling her, without anything, when we successfully completed the program. It was a 3 month program. We got facilitators, trainers, we got mentors who mentored people for that period. But she was the project manager for that project. When we completed it, at the end of it, we just did, so I just thought of it. I'm like, how can we, what can we do to celebrate this person? We now did a beautiful whatever, now celebrated her. All the participants, mentees, they all celebrated her, everybody. I actually think she cried that day because it was quite a humbling moment. So I will throw it back to you. Try and create moments for people. Try and create experiences for people. Most people are more interested in that now than in just money. If they say some people are so rich, the only thing, some people are so poor, the only thing they have is money. I had a boss who told me this: we may not be paying the best of all compensation. We'll try our best, but we will give people some major experiences that will keep them attached to the company. They will impact your family, they will impact your friends, they will impact all the people around you. That was one of the vision he gave us as HR, to say, go and start looking at how you not only be impacting the staff alone, their family, their friends, all the people in their ecosystem. Start impacting them. I even had the opportunity of my mentor coming to speak to us. In fact, two of my mentors came to speak to us in that organization. That's an impact. We had children's program for staff. That's an impact. Make your that's those are the ways that you can make your value proposition, employee value proposition, through compensation and benefit, not just about money alone. Excuse me. Because after a while, money is just an hygiene factor. People will get tired no matter how much you pay them. The only thing is to continue to put all of these things in place. Continuous learning. That way, you'll be able to attract the top talents you want. You can retain them, and you can engage people. You can keep them engaged. And then it also boosts organizational performance. People that ordinarily cannot do something, you give them the opportunity to do it. You stretch them into growing. And those are the things that we should consider. I do hope that after today, we would go back to our various decks to put these things in practice. And for those that, you are looking for a new role, please don't be so focused. How much are you paying? How much are you paying? Yes, you earn great, but at the end of the day, don't just focus on the money. Ask for the other things that they have in the organization that might not even be money. Some of them might not even enter into your um what's it called, um offer letter, but there will be things that can be there in the organization that you know that, yeah, you learn a lot. I joined an organization because I know that by the time you spend 2 years in that organization, it's like it's like 7 years in another organization. You will learn till even you yourself will be asking yourself, as how now. So be looking out for all of those things before you make um decisions that have to do with your compensation and benefits. Don't just base it on how much are we paying people alone. Look out for all the other things that people can be enjoying on the job, things that will make them get better in their career. And as you do this, I do hope that you would be able to have an employer brand that will be able to remain competitive in the market. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. Now, I'm just going to leave the floor open if we have any questions from anyone. Questions, comments. All right. Kolakbo, K Buzz, you have the floor.
Well, thank you very, 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 very much, ma. It has been an insightful moment and a moment of truth, right? So I have a contribution, then I also have a question. I think it's two in one.
All
So I
right.
would like
Go
to
ahead.
start with my
Please go ahead. Hey, we lost him. Oh. The network has just been horrible these days. He's here,
that
but
people don't. Sorry, hope I'm audible, ma.
we didn't. No, we didn't hear you.
Okay, but hope I'm audible right now.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so it was stated in the research that people don't leave organization because of pay. There are other
Mm-hmm.
things like organizational culture,
Mm-hmm.
training, benefit, welfare, and staff engagement. So
Mm-hmm.
it goes beyond money. Because at the long run, what's the essence of just like the analysis you gave that between one employee, one company and the other company can earn. In fact, that's why I don't believe in gross pay and net pay. Because at the long
Mm-hmm.
run, you might earn more and get frustrated out of the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it goes beyond what, and I think other thing that we need to mention here is the fact that what's your aspiration? What are you tend to? What are you looking towards in life? Do these organizations match my
Mm-hmm.
goals that that I'm setting for myself? Take for example, you are looking, you are trying to learn, you embrace learning. Let me say you have a learning culture and you are in an organization where there is no training, staff development.
Mm-hmm.
At the long run, you find yourself like you are an eagle, you'll be in the midst of let's say chickens. So I think this is a very, very pivot section to someone's career that aside you are looking at your pay, you should also you should not be happy, look at other benefits that is very, very critical to your uh well being. So my question is my and I think that's my contribution. Then my question is critically,
Fantastic.
I just want to take a look at this. I just want us to take a look at this, man. Why do organizations they tend to focus more on ROI, return on investment? Because
Mm-hmm.
this is a cost to company. Whatever we are saying right now is a function of what are we making,
Mm-hmm.
right? So why do they what's it called prioritize this as this ROI than this staff welfare? Because happy worker is a productive worker. I think that's the
Mm-hmm.
first leg every organization should look into. But the business want to see profit before I make you happy. So it's like a transactional model, right? So I think at what extent do you have to come in as a leader to actually intersect this perception that, oh, is if our people are happy, they'll be productive. And you hear, are we making profit? Show us, call the financial auditor and let us look at our company statement of account and check all this. So, at what junction do you think it's more profitable for us to actually embark on all of this that is actually stated? Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. And you have valid um contributions that you've made, and your question is very, very timely in a world where businesses are also struggling, right? Businesses are struggling. A lot is ongoing. um I think one of the very key things is you have to build define your vision. Talk about your strategy. What strategy? How are you going to achieve your vision? And then set your goals. What do you want to achieve? Because if not, as well, you are just going to wake up every day, and then you find out that things are just happening. You are not that you are the one making that happen. I did a training for a company, a retreat for their leaders. And do you know that when I left that um session, a retreat, I began to think of my own organization and my life as an individual to say, yeah, a company here has achieved 87% of their target for the year. What's your excuse? There must be something they have done. And already by attending that retreat that I went to speak, I already understood what they were doing differently. And it was about accountability. And I think they were very deliberate about the people that they also brought into the organization. So for me, right, it's not a one size fits all. Employment must not be transactional, because if it is, people will not be productive, because it's a case of I'm working for the pay. And when you're also recruiting, please make sure that you're recruiting people who buy into your vision. I All these people who go about interviewing people, somebody asked that, they asked some of the people who came to the World Cup, who sponsored your World Cup. I think he said whether himself, that, and the World Cup is very expensive, those matches, some of them, how much have you spent? They are just calling big money, $100,000. So how did you make your money? The guy said, um maybe he said, my dad invested in Tesla. I heard that clearly when Tesla was, shares in Tesla, that was maybe like $1 million, and that same um Tesla shares is now worth $50 million. So you need to be able to, also, it's on both sides. Get people who can buy into your vision and will come and drive it, even when they are not seeing, is not people that are not just motivated also by money alone. And you, as a leader or as an HR person, must be able to sell this to both the employer and the employee. Because in a way, if you put some of these things in place, look at the story of the client that I told you. She went ahead to increase the staff salary by just, in fact, the day she told me, I was laughing. I said, ma, this money, ṣé kò kéré báyìí? She said, oh, inú wọn dùn torí pé kò ṣòwò yẹn gangan ni wọ́n ń wá. Work from home tí mo fún wọn yẹn ni. I will translate. She said they were happy, not really, because she told me how much she gave them in terms of increase. And I was telling her that, ma, is this not too small? She said no, that they were very happy because they weren't even expecting her to increase their salary. What they wanted was that work from home, like twice in a week. Let me work from home. They were okay. She said, so when I just added that to that for them, they were good. Again, I think one of the major challenges that we have, we don't get what people want. So it's a case of what I ordered versus what I got. So it's very, very important. You have to make the organization understand that they cannot just focus on return on investment alone, because they won't even get it. A disengaged employee, an unhappy employee who has suffered in traffic to come to work every day, how do you think they will be productive? They won't be able to, and after a while they will leave the job. One person will get tired of another person. So you must sit and understand what your compensation and benefits strategy and employee value proposition will be, with all of those things that will be put in place. And for you too as well, all of these things are not necessarily money. So one of the problems of that the business sometimes have with HR people is that they are not thinking for the business. When me I want to propose something, the one that requires little or no money at all will be the first thing I will first of all be putting out. Put those things first. If the company is not yet making money, they will work. It has always worked. So it's not just about money. Give them things, create learning opportunities for them, things that they will enable them grow on the job. I hope that helps. We can't overflog it. You have to be creative and innovative about these things. Then don't go and use, let whatever you see, let it be a guide for you, because businesses have their own peculiarities. They have their own peculiarities, and in understanding the peculiar challenges of your business, you will be able to use that knowledge to prefer the right solutions, not just go and bring a template from one place. Oh, this big tech company MTN is doing this, you come and dump it on you. It will not work, because MTN is a different structure from that your organization. I hope that helps. Thank you. Kolakwa, are you still here?
Yes, perfect. Very, very perfect. I think I'll go with some keywords that I've been able to summarize from. Like, it's not everything is money. Actually, true. Then I think I'll also go with the fact that you said we should look into to reduce the attrition rate, because if you are not happy, definitely you will leave. So I think one of those things are very, very critical. So thank you very much. I actually gain a lot. Then for the flu, since you are under weather, please kindly take good care of yourself. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you for your concern. It's the passion. No. If they told me that I would take this session today, I would say it's a lie. Because but it's just because for me as well, it's I could have, if it's another person say I can't do it, I'm not feeling well, but I said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Maybe I won't show my face so that people don't see that I look sick, but I mean, I will talk the way I can talk and just get it moving. So, and you can imagine if I didn't have it and people were already at 6, I already saw people that were in the waiting room to attend it, so it would have been disappointing. So thank you very much. I'll take time to rest. um is there any other person that has that wants to unmute and ask any questions? Victoria, over to you.
Good evening, man.
Good
Thank you for
evening.
the section. I always appreciate the section. God bless you, ma.
Thank you,
Um,
and thank you for always showing up.
you're welcome, ma. So my question is in two ways. So in a scenario whereby okay, we understand the cost of transport and the like, and okay, the management says do a research and let's see what the staff wants, and 80% says we want hybrid mode. But 30%, which are on the management side, of course, the hypocritical people are saying, no, we want the management to help to our transport and will be coming every day. In that scenario, the management is saying, okay, instead of them to go for the majority that said, okay, we do hybrid, we're insisting that no, they will follow the 30 that are hypocrites and want to give them transport. In the price of giving them transport as well, you are saying, some people that are productive, we give them so amount. Those are not productive, we are saying so amount, which is not okay. In that scenario, what should the HR do? Mhm.
Mm. This is what they call wahala be like, guys. Like, this is a very serious whatever. So you need to, in this kind of situation, you need to do an employee survey, an anonymous employee survey. And your employee survey should have all of these excuse me, all of these challenges that you've noted down, right? And most importantly, you need to be able to sit with, you need to be able to influence your employer. You need to find someone that can speak with, whoever is at the helms of affairs to understand the impact of what is happening to them. Don't also base it, don't let your research, whatever you're doing, be inside your organization alone. Go and look for likely competitor companies, what they're doing, and you know look at that to benchmark against that. We did, I worked on, which today is still my largest HR project that I worked, or I worked with a conglomerate organization on disparity in pay and all of those kind of things. So we were meant to come and standardize all of these things from there. When I was done from that project, I was sick. I was literally sick because my brain had interviewed thousands of people. My brain literally shut down because it was a lot that you had to take in. And it was those things that we used in proposing a solution. And today, I recently was at a at NITAD's, where I got inducted into NITAD, and I saw one of the staff of the HR of the organization. And he said, "The compensation and benefit structure you did for us, we're using it." I was amazed. She said, "We're using it and it's working for us." You know, so you need to be able to, that kind of organization might need a compensation and benefit structure that in it you will have a survey, an internal survey, an external survey of benchmarking your organization with other organizations. Because tomorrow now, let it not be that they will see another organization doing better than them. They won't know that it's those things that those organizations are doing. That's what is putting them ahead of them as an organization that is not really doing so well. And whatever your feedback is on it, you have to use it to create a standard, a standard that within this standard, these are the things that are obtainable. And it has nothing to do with individuals, but the structure that you've created. The first problem that most organizations have is that when compensation is a case of, oh, it's how I like Bassi, oh, Bassi is a guy, Michael is a guy, and so that means they can perform more than Janet or Titi Lion. No, you have to sit down and know that if somebody does A, B, C, D, this is what they get. If somebody has A, B, C, D, this is what they get. It does not matter who they are or where they are from. It is standards that you are following, not whether individual, like you said, hypocritical. That's not what you are looking at. You are looking at what most people in the organization say they want. And the downside of not giving most people what they want is, it let them see the flip side on the business, how it's going to affect the business negatively. And please, when you are doing this thing, let me say this: you yourself, don't be emotional about it. Be very objective. Do your research very well, because that's the only way you can make a difference. Don't put emotions, because if you put emotions, they will say, it's easy for them to say, HR people, don't do like that. Be very objective about it. Do it objectively and present it to them. Anytime I dealt with cases, especially anything I'm doing, I work with data, facts, figures. Even in cases that no data, I collect the data. Once I have the data, I'll be looking like this. I'll be collecting the data. I will use it to then make the change. um there was a company that I worked in. I wanted to change their employee welfare structure. My boss at the time told me that's how they've been doing it since, and he wanted to refuse. But the way you were doing it is not working for most people. He said, "Has anybody complained?" That's what he usually say. I said, "It's not about complaint, it's that it's not the right way to do it." People who join the organization, early, they are disenfranchised. At the end of the day, you know what? Did it, and I was able to use data to convince him to change it. And then we were able to build a structured welfare system that today, after I've exited the organization, they are still using that system that was created, rather than the one they had been using before I got there, that was personal, malicious. So if it's Victoria that is doing kini, they say HR, she will fail you during appraiser, they will give her um good scores. But if it's somebody else, they will not contribute, because they feel that that person does not have power. Who is Bolaji in this organization? Nobody knows her. So those are my counsel on how to proceed. I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well noted. I'll work on it. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kalakwa says majority carries the vote. So my question, Nenaya Ugu says, my question is, what can I do as HR to implement a reward system that has no cost of operation, rather than waiting for appraisal period and bonus? Please, appraisal. Let's Most companies, if there's anything you will take away here, don't I'm going to be speaking on performance management before the end of the year in full, but please, let's start moving away from performance appraisal and focus more on performance management, which means something in the immediate. I also spoke about it in my leadership retreat that I did. Then I even also did a training 2 days ago for Dangote Cement on HR for non-HR managers, and it's this same performance management thing. Don't wait for performance appraisal period. Do performance management. What that helps to achieve is that immediately people are doing things, they are getting rewarded for their great work, they are knowing how they are, if there are challenges, you can know what learning interventions to give them. Maybe you need to put them on a PIP or a PDP. PDP is personal development plan. It's not PDP patio or PIDP. you know he will help you to know how to progress on that. So as HR, you have to, again, don't give them what you think they want. Try and find out what they want. If you do like a survey, do a survey to find out what do people really want. Maybe all these bonuses that you people are waiting for, that's not what they are waiting for. I can tell you, Gen Z, they are not even interested in any performance appraiser. You think they send you for performance appraiser? If you finish appraising them and they will carry their bag and go. They really don't care about that. But if you work on getting performance management, which means that you're not waiting for a day or a week's activity. On the job, you are correcting them, you are giving them experiences, you are putting them on project, you are stretching them to do work that they've not been able to do. They will come out and be better for it. The lady that I told you was working in public sector, she said one of the things that helped her is that after she came for that session with me, she took some courses, and from that courses, she says the reason why she has not been able to complete her session that she has paid for is because she's now so busy. When she finishes her normal government work, she's not even doing a remote work in this same Nigeria. She'll do remote work. So with her learning, she's able to do that. So try and find out what people want, and not just dump what you think they want on them. That way you are sure of getting a great um feedback, and at the end of the day, it will lead to um productivity for you. For people to join, you can put training and also bring people from other spheres to spice up things. Thank you. So if we don't have any more questions, I think we can call it a day. If we have, I can take one more. If not, I think we've had a great day. Thank you everyone for coming. Please help us complete. It's just a short link that has been put there so that we'll know where to improve better, or the kind of topics you would like us to discuss at this Ask Bolaji Anything HR and Recruitment. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Please help us fill the link. Oh, Eric, Victoria, Imo, Basi, Michael, Neya, Janet, Titilayo, Kolapo, Adiola, Folahan, Folahan, Shuaib, Giwa. Thank you, everyone, for coming this evening. It's been a great honor to be here to speak with you. Thank you to the team at Ingenuity HR Solutions. This program is an initiative of Ingenuity HR Solutions. We call ourselves ones your buffet HR company, where you can get anything HR. You can come to us for it. Thank you for coming. We look forward to working with you as individuals or with your organization um, very soon. Please feel free to also refer us. We have a referral program where you also have something to benefit when you refer us for trainings, for anything. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night and God bless. You can unmute and say bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye 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 bye
Bye,
bye bye bye
everyone.
Please
bye
get enough
bye
Bye.
rest.
Enjoy your weekend.
Bye.
Bye, Ray.
bye.
Good night.
Good
Weekend.
night.
Night
Bye.
is
Bye. Thank you.
Take good care of yourself, man. Bye bye.
I will. I will. Thank you so much.
It's pretty late, but I like